2, 1.
You are watching Sipping Off the Cuff on TequilaAficionado.com. I'm Alex Perez.
I'm Mike Morales. Happy Movember,
Happy
right?
Movember.
That's what you got the mustache for. This is for men's health. Is that correct?
Men's health.
Men's health.
Men's health.
I beat everybody to the punch because I've had mine out since I don't know when. So I'm, you know, I'm ahead of the game. But that's a quick mustache, dude. You should grow the
That's a
goatee.
quick question.
Do the goatee. No? Yes? Maybe?
No, I actually don't like the facial hair, but I figure I'd try it.
Really? It looks good on you, man. It looks better on you
Thank,
than it does on me, but you know.
thank you.
Tonight, Alex, we are going to try the Mestizo Mezcal Reposado.
And I enjoyed the Blanco.
Blanco, we nominated for Brand of Promise.
And by the way, you can watch. Tell us what this is about, Mike.
That's our article of Mestizo Mezcal. We had an evening with Arturo Palencia here at the home. He's part-time based in Austin, and his partner's based out of Las Vegas. The two of them have imported this wonderful spirit from Matatlan, Oaxaca, um, and it's Espadin. The interesting thing is, Alex, we discovered that this is a 40 alcohol by volume, an 80 proof mezcal, and it smells and tastes very traditional. It tastes like a much higher ABV, which was really surprising to me. So for a gateway mezcal, I think the Hoven was a hit. But
Mhm.
look at this is a the Reposado, and it's very pale.
Yeah, it's very light. Very light,
Um,
as you can tell.
yeah, this is
Really
a
light.
um,
This has contact with wood. What
right.
did you say? 8 months in oak barrels?
The information we have here says 8 months in new American white oak barrels. So this is new, and the color's not very deep or rich. I mean, um, most of the used barrel tequilas that get the tequilas aged in used barrels look this color. But this is 8 months in new barrels. So maybe they're not toasting it as much. I'm not sure what they're doing with the char, for instance. But it's very pale straw. You still have a bubble there. Check them out. Is that a bubble I see?
There are a lot of bubbles in here.
That's a mezcal bubble, man. I love bubbles. We had. I'm gonna. Oh my.
Beautiful nose.
Yeah.
Now I can catch the vanilla in here.
And I
Ooh,
get
but
some
vanilla is so
spiciness on it
delicate.
too. There's
That's
some.
such a delicate nose. It's got, wow. This one still, it has a floral nose and the touch of vanilla, almost some honey. Nice.
I'm getting a little bit of the uh, spiciness, a little bit of spices on
Yeah,
the on
you
the
get
top.
some spicy heat.
This, yeah, this nose, like I say, the mezcal, it's so easy. It's a pleasure to try to discern the flavors and aromas because it just comes up to meet you. You don't have to dig. You don't have to dig in. Some of you see me drinking out of my nose here almost, and
Mm,
you don't have to do it with this.
wow. Like honey with a little smoke.
That smoke is so pronounced. It's so good, Alex.
It's really good.
It is so good. This is really very much a traditional process that they're doing. I think I read in the
Oh,
previous um, episode that they are using a 300-year-old tradition. These, by the way, the piñas are cut
mm,
and macerate. They're cut with machetes and they're macerated
nice.
using a stone wheel, a taona. The horse's name is El Dorado, the horse that they're using. Um, they don't hide anything. These folks are completely transparent, and just what a beautiful product, though, Alex. This is just now it's an award winner too. 2013 gold medal winner at San Francisco World Spirits Competition for the Reposado.
Now, tell me something, Mike. Why do you say they're transparent?
The company, the importers are very transparent. This information here is readily available off their website. This is basically word for word what their website says, but they make it available to the public. So they tell you where it comes from. They tell you how they developed the name, and in the very end, what I found was very interesting. Um, that it said our company. I mean, they even tell you what their company stands for. It says I'll read this to you because I may as well read it word for word. Our company, our small business and its partners are a mestizo group similar to our mezcal. Many of the members of the families from Santiago Matatlan that farm the agaves and produce mestizo are pure Zapotec descendants who still use the Zapotec language. Jessica Rossman, who is one of the partners, was born in California and raised mostly in Las Vegas. Arturo Palencia, his brother Julio, who designed the labels and the logo and the website, are originally from Mexico City. So all of us behind Mestizo are a mix of cultures as well. You know, it's rare that you get a company that is so transparent and tells you, hey, this is where we come from, this is who we are, um, this is the barrel we're using, why we decided on using an 80 proof as opposed to a traditionally much higher ABV. They believe that that's better for the palate. I think in this case,
It's a winner.
balance has a lot to do with it. Um, I'm working on an article that with it was an article that we interviewed Germán Gonzalez of Tequila Uno, T1 Tequila, and the man's a genius. And when you, I'll have that article out probably before the end of the year. When you listen to him talk about distilling, for him, alcohol, there needs to be alcohol. And he said he was very assertive when he said mezcal, for instance. I believe mezcal needs to be at a higher alcohol by volume because you start off with much bigger piñas. You start off with bigger fruit, and you need to balance the alcohol with the size of the fruit. And he says that's why mezcals should be at a higher ABV because there's so much that at higher ABVs the flavor profile it opens up more. It was really interesting to hear him say that because I'd never heard it said anywhere else by anyone else. And the interesting thing about Herman is that he's not a chemical engineer by trade. Because I've spoken to chemical engineers, you and I have, ingenieros, even Carlos Camarena for that matter, who's a teacher, for God's sake. But to hear it from the other side, it really makes sense why mezcals are traditionally at a higher ABV. If you take a look at some of those piñas, the espadín and whatever maguey you're working with, they're generally bigger than the piñas are bigger. So they produce more juice. Consequently, they produce more alcohol. So the trick is in finding the balance. Okay, so I believe that the balance. This is such a well balanced mezcal at a lower ABV that it really is worthy of all the accolades it's getting. And that's just me. But we go a lot by taste. What do you like about it? I mean, it's kissed by a little bit of wood, but it doesn't lose much of its character from the Hoven.
No, I think it's got the right balance of the smokiness. It's got beautiful vanilla notes and some floral in the nose, and it still comes off. It's not sweet really on the palate. It's just perfectly balanced, and then just dry at the end. Again, I think even for food pairing it would be perfect. Um, I think it's just it's a very well made, well balanced mezcal.
I think on their website, if if I'm not mistaken. I believe they've got some signature cocktails as well. I just I, I hesitate personally. I hesitate using mezcals in cocktails, but I know that that's the way, the way of the wave that we're in now, the cocktail culture that we're in now. And yep, it does. Really a nicely done website. It's got their own signature drinks. Uh, with the añejo, the reposado, and the joven, so you can take your pick as to which varietal you enjoyed the most and which one you want to have in a cocktail. I personally, to appreciate it initially, sip it first. And again, we don't have glassware. For there is no glassware for mezcal. So some of us who have gourds, I was lucky enough to get one from Mestizo, from the folks there, and they gave me a bigger gourd. I mean, just to drink it out of a gourd is mm, mm.
Traditional.
Yeah. And you and I have had Del Maguey, and they like to serve it in the clay copitas. And I know you probably have one. I know I have one in storage somewhere. But drinking it out of a gourd is really interesting. It's just it gives you that robust kind of feeling, like you're out in the like you're in a palenque somewhere.
It takes you back a couple hundred years.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. And just a little bit. I'm not saying go overboard. By the way, with all this information that they're giving us, they do use copper pot stills, double distilled only. So, mm, mm,
Wow.
mm-hmm. Oh my.
Well, I nominate this one, Mike.
I agree
Promise.
with you. I think it's going to have to be brand of promise as well.
It's
We're
a
not
beautiful.
we're,
Oh,
we're not too far behind from the judges at San Francisco World Spirits, because they agree. We agree with them. They agree with us. Um, this is really a fine mezcal.
yeah.
So that's our take on Mestizo Reposado. Wait till you get to the añejo.
Ooh, looking forward
Yeah.
to it.
I'm Mike Morales here in San
Al-
Antonio, Texas.
I'm Alex Perez, and you're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on tequilaaficionado.com. And as always, sip wisely.